Hello guys, and welcome to video number 2 from Next Realm Studios. So we're just going over a little bit of changes from the video that was released a few days ago. This still isn't any kind of gameplay from the title that we are working on. This is still just basically more AI experiments. So in order to make things a little bit easier for people to know what's going on, I've added color markers to layers because there is teams of 3 that are working together in this Battle Royale. And since it was just so hard to know who was on which team, I've added little dots. So yellow-blue is one team, different blue, purple is another team, blue is yet a third team. That just makes it a little bit easier to tell exactly who's with who when they're fighting each other like this. Because otherwise you might think that these guys are working together. In reality, they're not. So I also made it so the camera will follow around different characters. Depending on who's still alive. That way it can basically just follow the action wherever it's happening. The reason for those 2 changes is I'm thinking about maybe just putting this up on Twitch and just letting it train for a couple hours while people can come and watch it training just like in the background. I don't really expect anyone to watch that. It just seems like it'd be a fun thing to figure out, especially since we are debating doing streaming in the future for game development. So, as you can see, there's no one around this guy. He's just running back. For those of you who missed the last video, if you want like a full explanation of what's going on here, please just go ahead and watch it. It's the only other video currently on the channel. If you're watching this later, it's the first video that was ever posted on this channel. The too long, didn't read, or didn't watch of this is there are 2 types of characters. There are these ones that you saw, and then there are the ones wearing green shirts, just little zombie guys. These people are controlled by machine learning algorithms, so they get slightly better over time. This is the first iteration since I'm retraining. As you can tell, some of them are a bit of an idiot, and they can run right into the shrinking world border and get themselves killed. So these are the simple actors, or simps, as we're calling them. And then the complex actors are these ones that are fighting against. The complex actors have 3 different abilities they can choose from, and I'm going to close this window that's right next to me. And they can basically just choose from those abilities, and that's what the neural network controls. So, as you can see, they're not useless on the first iterations. They just don't know when to use what ability when, and that's something that's trained over time. So you can see they're standing right next to each other, and they're using a ranged ability, which is a little bit expensive and doesn't do that much damage, but capable from afar. So what I've changed gameplay, well, it's not a game, but what I changed since the last one, apart from adding the team markers and the camera things, is I buffed up the ranged just a little bit. And now does a little bit more damage, can shoot really fast, just as an experiment to see if they'll start using it. So I'm going to let this let it run for about 10 minutes at full speed, and then I'll check back in with you guys so we can see if there's any new behavior. Alright, so this has been running for, I'm actually not sure how long now. My computer crashed and I had to restart it. Not due to the game or anything, that's just my computer is dying and I've had to replace it. And the replacement is on the way. But what we can see here, they don't seem... So a couple of the complex actors are definitely using this, and you can see it does shoot faster. But a lot of them are opting not to, or at least they're not doing it like when it makes the most sense. It has been running for at least 8 minutes, which is not a long time. We'll see if the next cycle brings any drastic improvements to what they're doing. But you can see the teams still do try to avoid each other, and when they start getting close, they do the area of effect more than they do the ranged. So now they're all dead. So I looked over the code and I was trying to figure out why this might be. So while it does shoot faster and do a little bit more damage, it also costs more. So they may be making the decision saying, hey, this costs too much mana basically to keep spamming for how much damage it does. So it's easier to run up really close and then stab them, basically. And this is chugging along. I think it's because I have the video software open, video editing software open, and also RTX voice running to make my audio just ever so slightly better. I know it's probably still not great, but you can see that what I was expecting is that they'd basically revert to using nothing but the projectile. They're kind of not using it. So I've noticed that they use it against the small guys, but when it comes up to fighting another complex actor, they opt to just get up close and do the large damage attacks. So it's just interesting to see how AI will adapt to what it thinks is best, more than what we think it will go for. I could run this again, or for longer, and see if we come up with different results, but I don't have a lot of time to record today. And really, I just wanted to be able to show you what little changes can do. I think I'm going to add a couple minutes here to the end of it just running with no voiceover, so you can see how it changes. And what I think I'm going to do is, no, I'll just leave it as is. I'm not going to make any more changes, and we'll see if they start to decide to shoot at each other or not. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more videos, there should be at least one more coming out this week. Go ahead and hit subscribe, hit like, to show if you like it. Make sure you comment down below any questions or anything I will try and answer. I especially try and answer all comments I get within 24 hours. But for that, this is closing in. The world is closing in around our frontier, and I will stop recording and then start recording again, possibly from, I'll start it from a brand new save so you can see the whole training, and I'll start that recording right now. See you later in the week.